White Dwarf 456.
Spiky Bits.
Welcome back, Hobby Maniacs. I'm Rob Bear from SpikyBits.com. We've got issue 456 of the White Dwarf magazine. So this actually, I don't know if we got this early. I don't know when stuff's supposed to come out. I guess it's around the middle of the month. Either way, this is a good issue. I think if you got $9 burning a hole in your pocket and you want to scoop up one of these White Dwarfs, it's got a lot of good content for a lot of different games out there, which is kind of important when you want to look at it and be like, hey, what do I spend my money on this week? So new rules for the Silver Templars in the Index Astartes right here. There's a great battle report in here, Indominus kind of style battle report, and great custom terrain table from, I guess, the studio. There is, not this particular one, but there is a Warcry kind of a Cities of Sigmar new warband that you can take. I think it's got like 10 or 15 different warriors that they give you all the stat cards and everything, and I'll show you that here in a minute. And then the developers and stuff, Robin Crudis talks. There's just a lot of 40k on the front end. As you can see, this is all pretty much 40k, and then it kind of switches to Sigmar, Warcry, Underworlds, Black Library. There's a Warhammer Crime kind of snippet in here, and then there's a Sisters of I think the Sisters Battle story in the back. So let's jump into it real quick. Don't want to talk too much about this early stuff here. They go more into the Indominus era and kind of what all the stuff is and what all the doodads and things are on here. A lot of this was already in the Indominus box. But I do like the commentary and the kind of the back and forth here. You know, kind of the story of the Necrons, how they wanted to evolve them and make them a little bit more customizable. And the models look great. The studio did an amazing job. This is the kind of brass style Caesarcan Dynasty color scheme, which, you know, all laid out here. It's pretty easy to do. They do want you to buy that $30 can of brass, but I'm sure there's some Krylon out there if you don't feel like it's worth your hobby dollars. You can check your local Walmart or something like that. Robin Crudis talks a whole lot of different things here. Oh, there is actually a section in here I need to read. So the Edge of Silence battle report in here is pretty good, and there's actually a couple of Easter eggs that we saw already about the new aura mechanic, the reanimation protocol mechanic. I'll just kind of we already know about the core mechanic, and I think we talked about the reanimation protocols. I guess you get to do them after every attack, as you know, way different from the old way the Necrons used to do them, which usually just ended up running off the board. But this definitely got a little bit better here. So great battle report, lots to dig into and read. Echoes from the Writer, we're not going to cover that, but I did want to talk about... Oh, this I actually have to read, and I kind of skipped this section and realized that there might be a little bit of kind of spoilers and things, so there might be a few teasers in here that it's definitely worth. It's very Echoes of the Warpy, which if you remember in the Psychic Awakening books, that's all had a bunch of teasers. This table's dope. Like, for real, like, it's really hard to tell, like, how awesome. I don't know why. Like, this looks great, right? It's painted, it looks dope, it's got rails. They custom made like rail cars and stuff. They made all these custom pieces of terrain on it, just different panels and things from the Mechanicus sector. It looks like there's a tunnel going through to like another side where they're fighting, but you really don't get the actual scale, right, from this picture. And then when you flip the page here and you see how big this table is compared to like a room, right? Then you start to realize, holy cow, this thing's like immense. And then here's how they did all the rails and everything, kind of talking about the PVC, XPVC. I'm actually not sure quite what that is, but if you wondered how they did it all, well, there it is right there. I mentioned that's some sort of heavy plating or heavy plastic right there, and then you can see how they made the cars out of. It looks like the containers. It looks like they're halvesies of the containers, the armored containers. That's cool. Then it gets into the rules section itself, which is pretty dope. I love the color scheme of the Silver Templars. It's almost like the Red Scorpions from Forge Roll, but just a little different. And I always thought those were very, very striking. And here's some like background and legend and stuff on them, and some, just some history to the chapter. And then here's the rules themselves. I would love to tell you all about how these interact with the current Space Marine rules, but I don't think it's worth my time, to be quite honest, because we know that there's new Marine Codex on the way. The old Marine Codex came out in July of last year, and well, it's already basically getting superseded, and whatever. So this, I like how everything's laid out. We saw the core unit mechanic already revealed from Games Workshop. So Silver Templars Primaris core units within 6 of this Warlord. So now you kind of know what that is, but we don't know everything that's core yet, so we don't know what it is, right? And they got some interesting tic-tacs with their chapter tactic is interesting because whenever a model with this tactic makes a melee attack against an infantry or biker, an unmodified wound of 6 automatically wounds the target, which is pretty clutch, right? If you go up against some high toughness duders, right? But whenever a Tamiya unit with this tactic is selected to fight, you can reroll 1 hit roll when resolving that unit's attack. So reroll 1 hit roll, and then you've got a chapter or a Warlord trait over here, which allows the Warlord to reroll the wound roll. So if he was charged, performed a heroic invention, you could do that. He also allows him to fight first, which is pretty clutch. You know, obviously you tic-tac, or you don't tic-tac. I think it's the defender. I forget what they say in the 40k rulebook. If you both have, it's never come up in my games, if you both have the same ability to fight first, there is a tiebreaker in the 40k rulebook. Precision commanders, kind of okay. Like I said, that was the thing where you can reroll 1 hit roll and you can reroll 1 wound roll for any Primaris core within 6. So that's kind of like the Salamander's ability, but you can only do it like kind of. It's not as good because it's not kind of a blanket effect, I guess. And then he has this other trait where it allows him, each time this Warlord makes an attack with this weapon, an unmodified wound roll of 6 inflicts 1 mortal wound in addition to the normal damage. So this does affect him. Because remember, his rerolls and auras don't affect him anymore. We've seen what the Rites of Battle does. And so that's a really interesting kind of mechanic. I like this armor over here. It negates rend or AP of -1 or -2. It becomes 0 instead and gives the bearer a feel no pain of 6+ Primaris units only, which they're one of the first Primaris only chapters. So I guess you wouldn't have any Firstborn Space Marines in your Silver Templars army, so to speak. Or maybe they picked them up. I don't know. Either way, so there's a bunch of stuff in here, you know, just screen cap it, pause it, whatever you need to do to check out these rules. But like I said, it brings value to the book itself, along with this painting guide here, which I think was previously only available in Warhammer Conquest magazine. So it's great. Really explains kind of how to do that. And then of course they got a little gallery here of all the great looking characters painted up in that color scheme. I just skipped the Sigmar section. I don't even remember what's in here, to be quite honest. Oh, here's that Warcry stuff I was talking about. So you can do the cities of Sigmar guys, like all the old empires and the dwarfs, and I think there's a couple of the wood elves, and then also the old dark elf duders right there too, or 2 of them, 2 of each. So, and you got your chart for what they roll on their dice, and then a couple of special missions, and then I don't know. Oh, there's the stuff they can get. So there's all of that there. I don't know. We know that the Labyrinth is coming out soon, so that'll be pretty neat to see. And then it goes into the coverage of the Tale of 4 Warlords or whatever. Stuff is coming out here soon. So let's see. What else do we got? Oh, the Beastgrave section. Oh, Warhammer Crime Story was kind of neat. Kind of this and the Sisters one definitely reminds me of my high school book reports because it's large font and spaced out as much as possible. You know what I'm talking about. You did it too. We all did it. It was rules is intended, or rules is written in high school. Wow, that's a lot. That's a big story. I didn't read any of that. And then in the back, great looking Seraphon army, but maybe more importantly, Glog's Mega Mob. I don't know who Glog is, but I don't know. Maybe he's one of them big old giants coming out, because we know that most likely the giant release will be next month, or Gargants, whatever you want to call them, because we saw that preview of a pre-order for their book over on Amazon. Or maybe that's that dude. No, that's Mollog. No, I don't even remember. No, that's Boss Trog. Boss Trog. Either way, I think it's a good book. If you got some money in your pocket when you shuffle on down to your local game store, you might want to think about picking it up. But, you know, it's definitely more on the 40K content side this month than really anything else. So that is it for this one. Thank you very much for watching our big preview review of the new White Dwarf. It's definitely recommend it, so check it out. I'm sure you can order it from Games Workshop, but again, it's probably just easier to pick it up at a bookstore or your local game shop here this weekend.